Well, hello there. Good morning. How are you doing today? I'm trying something a bit new with my video formatting and styling for this video today. I don't know what you have seen up until this point with other uploads that I've done, because this video is going to be a bit of a work in progress for me, starting it today. But I've been talking about this series a lot here on my channel. This book has taken up so much of my brain space in the past year and a half since I read it, and that's The Sunken City by Emma Noyes. I read it in April of 2024, and I have not stopped thinking about this book and the series since. And I don't know why it has taken me until August of 2025 to order the rest of the series, but I did, and I have it now. So we're gonna do a little reading vlog of me reading these over the next couple weeks, because I would like to finish them before the end of summer, and it is August 15th, so I need to get on it. And now that I'm making book content, I don't feel right reading without recording something, and that's something I'm gonna have to work on, because I know it's gonna really cut into how many books I read in a year if I'm like, oh, I can't read unless I record myself reading. So that's a me problem that I have to work on, but we'll get there. So this morning I just wanted to sit down, kind of talk about The Sunken City because it's been so long that I've read it. I also would like to bring up some like spark notes or something equivalent. That way I can remind myself what it was I read, and then we can pick up where we left off and start the next one this weekend. So let me do a little bit of research, see what I can find. I haven't looked up anything. I wanted to do that here with you today. I doubt there's even spark notes for this one, honestly. Oh, here's a review I could read. I don't see a spark notes, but there's some good summaries and reviews. If I read these, that should help me, right? What did I rate this whenever I read it? I rated it 3 stars, and then I literally have not stopped thinking about it for a year and a half, so maybe I should up that rating. It wasn't the best, but something about the underwater world just sucked me in. I loved it. Let me read you the synopsis of Sunken City. Amare Bellamy is not a witch. Orphaned as a child and raised on a ship by the most dangerous men in the Caribbean, Amare is one thing and one thing alone, a pirate, and pirates hate magic. After a fateful storm plunges her into the depths of the ocean, Amare wakes to find herself in a strange new world, an underwater kingdom where magic exists but is strictly outlawed by the king, a man who claims to be her true father. Is it Amari? As Amare struggles to fit into her new role as Princess of the Sunken City, she finds herself tangled in a web of love between 2 brothers, one good, one not so good. And as strange powers manifest within her, she must question everything she was raised to believe, especially if she has any hope of stopping the evil brewing at the bottom of the ocean. I know a lot of people compared the love interests to Damon and Stefan Salvatore from Vampire Diaries. And I mean, I get it in an extent. I just think that's people trying to compare apples and oranges in a way. I mean, they're vampires. Others are underwater boys. I don't know. I don't remember what they were. They weren't like mermaids or anything. They're just underwater people. I don't remember like any of the descriptions or anything about them. I don't know. Should I read this again? I don't think I need to. I remember most of the gist, I believe. Okay, I have been saying it wrong. It's Amare. Amare is everything a girl who grew up on a pirate ship should be. She is rude, passionate, a spitfire of opinions, and every bit the girl that yearns to be free. I really liked Amare. Her decisions made sense, and I just really liked her. There's not much more in that review that I want to like talk about and discuss, so I'm gonna flip over to this other one, and the title of it just says, "It was okay." And I agree, like, it was okay, but the way this book has captured my brain, it was better than okay in my book, I guess. Don't let the hype fool you. This was only all right, says me, so you could feel different, of course. I mean, I agree. It was just okay, but it was good enough that I can't stop thinking about it a year and a half later. I'm scrolling through Goodreads reviews, and I love the flip-flop back and forth. Like the first one, DNF at 33%. Then the next one, it's 5 stars, was absolutely breathtaking and magical read. And then the next one, 1 star. Feels like a contemporary novel stuck within a fantasy one, which I absolutely did not love. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's like reminding me of some stuff. Like, they did have fake IDs, like to go to a nightclub. and stuff. Like underwater, you have these fake IDs to get into a nightclub, which I thought it was kind of funny, but this person did not like it. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, now I don't know what I want to do. My plan was to read a couple things, remind myself of how this book was, and then to jump into the other ones. But I might just flip through and kind of skim read this one again before I dive into the next ones. Dive in. Since I have read it once, I should be able to read it again pretty quickly. All right, well, you'll see where this goes, I guess. I have no idea as of right now. Let's read some Sunken City Trilogy, shall we? I have figured out what this video is going to be. It will be my homage to summer, my fare thee well to my favorite time of year. It is slipping away from me oh so fast, and I'm going to miss it so much. And what better way to wrap up the summer than with some fun underwater reads? Don't mind how I look, it's Saturday and I don't care, but I did decide that I am going to reread The Sunken City. I'm just gonna skim it basically and just kind of do a quick little breeze through read. So I'll keep you updated. Hello, just a little update. I made it to part 3 this morning. I'm just going to hang out here on my porch swing and read for a little bit and be attacked by bugs, apparently. As I'm rereading this, I am remembering all of the things that kind of bothered me last time whenever I read it, and I'm making a list and like a sticky note in my book. That way we can talk about it a bit more. I think after I reach the next part, I'll do a little sit-down update thing with you, but for now, we're just going to read. Having a little bit of a rough day today, but I made it to part 4 last night. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm holding a microphone, so I can't use my other hand. But I'm kind of caught up in my work and whatnot for right now, so I'm just gonna sit here and chill and read. I don't even know why I'm bothering with this update. So I'm just gonna listen to some lo-fi and read for a little bit. I did finish reading The Sunken City later that night, but instead of just hopping into the next one, I needed a little veg night, so I sat down, worked on my embroidery, and watched some Gilmore Girls. This is my first time watching Gilmore Girls. I don't know why it's taken me this long. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I'm about halfway through season 1. And then this happened.
So Beth, huh? I hate the name Beth. It's so Beth. Yata also said
But why? Maybe that's why I've never watched Gilmore Girls.
Whoa.
Hello. I thought my dog was going to come join me on the floor. When you're on the floor, it's fair game. I think I have finally figured out what this video is going to be. It's going to be like my homage and goodbye to summer because I miss it already. It's a little chilly today and I'm very sad about it. I have on a t-shirt and shorts and I had a blanket on while I was doing my work this morning because it's cool out today and I'm very sad and I'm already missing summer. I'm not ready for summer to go. I want her to stay around, but unfortunately that's just not the way it works. I honestly don't know how long this video will be or when you will see it. I just finished the Sunken City last night, and I will be starting the Fallen Witch either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. I have to go do some things tonight for my grandma, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it started or not. But I wanted to sit down and do a little update with you and kind of do a little review on the Sunken City before I dive into the Fallen Witch. I am very excited to read this one, though. Reading this again was a little strange, but I did enjoy it more on my second read through. I was able to read it really quick since I have already read it once, and it is a pretty fast-paced book. One thing that doesn't really make sense to me about it is that it's broken up into parts. There's too many parts, in my opinion, and they don't really make a lot of sense. I'm going to try really hard to make these spoiler-free, but it is going to be difficult since I will be reading the entire trilogy in this video. So there's probably going to be some spoilers. I do apologize, but it is what it is, I guess. So in part 1, we learned that Amari has been raised on this pirate ship by her uncle because both of her parents died in a storm when she was a baby. She has lived on this pirate ship for 17 years, and anytime there is a battle or like ship versus ship kind of deal, they lock her in the captain's quarters or in another room so she's not allowed to like engage and be a part of anything. We get a good bit of backstory during part 1 and learn more about Amari and how she was raised on this pirate ship. At the end of part 1, there's a storm and Amari is thrown into the ocean. I mean, she jumps. I can't go around it. She jumps. She just straight up jumps into the ocean, and then that's where part 2 begins, where she wakes up in the Sunken City. There are a few things that bothered me about the Sunken City and the whole kind of ordeal. My main issue was how fast she adapted to living underwater. It was like an hour, and she's like, oh, okay, no, I'm fine. Like, girl, you're still growing your gills. Shouldn't you, like, struggle a little bit more? I find it a little strange, too, that above water, the year is like 1730 or something like that, because it talks about a storm that happened in 1717 that almost took down the Moon Shadow, which is the boat that she grew up on, and she's 17, so I'm just like rough guessing here that it's in like the 1730s. But then once we're underwater, they have like fake IDs, there's nightclubs, they wear mini skirts, and it was a little strange. They did try to rationalize it by saying that being they are underwater creatures, they have had more time to evolve and advance as a society, rather than the humans that went up on land and had to basically start over with their society. And I guess it makes sense, but it is also just a little strange. The stark contrast of it being the 1700s above water and then underwater, they're like popping it off at nightclubs, drinking air shots, because they're underwater, so they have air shots, which are just like a bubble, I guess, of liquor that you just suck it in. I don't know. There is a lot of world building in part 2, which is very necessary, I think, because, I mean, you're underwater, and I don't know anybody that lives underwater. Unfortunately, I don't. I really wish I did. And once Amare is in the Sunken City, she just keeps learning new truths and she just believes everything everybody tells her. I don't want to say she's gullible, but she feels pretty gullible to me. Like, shortly after she gets to the Sunken City, it is revealed that the king is her father, and she has grown up thinking that her parents are dead, and now she finds out, oh, my dad's just been living under the sea for the past 17 years. Interesting. And she has been raised from the get-go to hate magic and despise it and to think that it is evil. But then when she gets to the city, she learns that they built the city with magic, but then 7 years ago, it got outlawed, and now magic's outlawed. So there's definitely some plot that is going to develop in the second book that I'm very curious about. Having read it again, I think I am going to keep it at 4 stars. There were a couple minor things that bothered me. Like, there are 2 love interests, they're brothers, and the younger one, his name's Finn, and he is the right hand of the king. He is the king's advisor. He's 17 years old. Why is this 17-year-old the king's advisor? I get it in the story that the king took in Finn after his village was destroyed, but it would make more sense if he was just, like, living in the palace, being taken care of by the king, and not essentially being groomed to be the heir, the next heir, like the next in line for the throne. I don't know. I found that weird the first read through, and this time I definitely found it weird again. The writing was a little questionable at times. Some of the dialogue is a little kind of juvenile, I think. Amare is this crude pirate girl who doesn't take shit from anyone, but yet she does a lot of things that kind of don't align with her character. At least I don't think so. But then again, she is 17, so I get it. See, on one hand, she kind of does some character development and growth, but on the other hand, she really doesn't. She has a lot more development to do in the rest of the series, I will say that. I honestly don't know why it has taken me over a year to get into the next one. I did kind of forget, like, everything that happened in this book, so I am glad that I reread it because it really did refresh me a lot, and I am very excited to hop into the next book. I do have a lot of questions that I hope will be answered. I think that's about it. If I think of anything else, I'll pop in with a voiceover or something. I don't know, but I will be starting The Fallen Witch in like the next day or 2, and I'll bring you along with that as well. I did really enjoy The Sunken City reading it for a second time, and I'm going to keep it at 4 stars. And I'm curious to see if the rest of the series will be around the same or if it'll be higher or lower. Good morning. It is Saturday the 23rd, and I'm going to a water park today. What better way to say goodbye to summer than a water park day? I'm so excited. I'm taking my GoPro, and hopefully I will be able to record some stuff and not be too socially awkward to not record. So we'll see. So let's go have some water park fun. Well, that didn't really go according to plan. I wasn't allowed to bring my selfie stick into the park, and my phone was in a locker with my GoPro since I didn't have pockets in my swimsuit. So all I have to show for the day is this clip and this photo. But we had a fun summer day together, which is what really matters, right? I have, however, made it to part 4 of The Fallen Witch. So far, I do like it more than The Sunken City. There is a lot more dialogue and not quite as much action with things going on. I'm over halfway through and I still don't know which brother I'm rooting for. I think I know, but we'll see. Right now, I would like to condense some of the thoughts that I had about the Sunken City that I didn't really get to say before and kind of do some clarification on a couple of the things that I said. Like I had said that Amare goes against her character, and I would like to redact that. I think she does stay true to her immature, young pirate self. She's not good at talking about her feelings, and a lot of the times just chooses to run away from conflict. She was sheltered on a ship for her entire life and never really got the chance to talk to anyone except for the rowdy crew, let alone people her own age, so I really can't fault her for that. She has been doing better in The Fallen Witch, so some character development there. Would love to see it. Love to see it. In the Sunken City as well, we found out that Amari and Finn have to get married since she's the princess and Finn has been groomed to be the next in line for the throne. So the king has arranged their marriage together and just keeps pushing up the timeline. It was supposed to be months down the road, and then it's like, oh no, it's going to be next week. Oh no, it's going to be in 2 days. Oh no, it's tomorrow. So in the beginning of The Fallen Witch, part 1 is mainly just planning the wedding and Amari actually, like, despising the fact that she has to get married. Amari does some snooping around the palace. She hates wedding planning and things go awry. She's kidnapped and she is forced to infiltrate Skullhaven, which is the kingdom that all of the Machawi or witches have been forced into, and they're like, only the witches can be in there now. Nobody goes to Skullhaven, it's scary. But she has to pose as a married couple with the other brother Lucas, and you can imagine how that goes. I'm still going to try and keep this spoiler free. It is really difficult since I'm reading the second one in a series. But so far, I have been finding The Fallen Witch to be much more predictable than The Sunken City was. There's one part where they're like, we have to get out of here before things go bad. And Amari's literally like, no, we have to stay. We have to do this. Don't worry. I won't do the bad thing you think I'm gonna do. And then she just goes and does the bad thing that we thought she was gonna do. And I knew she was gonna fucking do it. I knew it. I saw it from a mile away. Like, okay, this is how we're going, which it's fine. I get it. There's a prophecy. It's how it's supposed to go and whatever, but I could see it from a mile away. I was not surprised at all by the turn of events at the end of part 3. Amari is doing a lot better talking about her feelings and not just running away from everything. She does run away a couple times, but it's not as bad as the first one. And while she has been inside Skullhaven, Amari has been learning magic, how to control and use it, and so far she's been doing pretty well with it. She's coming to terms with the fact that she is a witch. No, I think that about wraps up all of my thoughts on The Fallen Witch so far. I don't know when I'll be finishing this. Probably I'll get a good chunk of it in tonight. I'll probably read all of part 4 tonight because it's pretty short. It is a really fast read, I will say that. I started it Friday, and I haven't put too many hours into it, but I am over halfway done with the book so far. I guess I should put it correct so you can see. I should be able to blow through part 4 this evening or maybe tomorrow. I have a car appointment tomorrow, so I'm going to be taking my book, and I should be able to get a good bit in while they're doing some maintenance on my vehicle. Okay, that's it. See you in a bit. I'm so bad at this. That did not go according to plan either. I ended up taking a friend with me to the car dealership, so I didn't get to read because I was just hanging out with her. Excuse me, can I help you? So I was hanging out with her today and didn't get to read any while I was waiting for my car, but my car got fixed, so that's a bonus. My friend went with me today and we went to Home Depot and I got some paint and got some stuff. I need to paint the wall in my dining room. I just got a new dining room set. We got rid of the old table and got the new set put up, and we tried to get paint last night, but the place we were going to was closed, so I had to go to Home Depot today and get a gallon of paint. So we got that done. I'm waiting for it to dry so I can put on a second coat, so I'm just gonna sit here and read for a little bit. Can I help you, sir? We can work together. Here you go. How's that? Stop it. Why are you doing that? He's so cute. Stop it. Where's the cat? There he is. Where's the kitty? There he is. He's so fucking cute. Can't stand him. I have donned my paint shirt. Let's do another quick coat on this. you were the cat crinkling in. You were so sneaky. I think that looks much better. It's better than the weird peachy pastel pink that was in here before.
Alright, painting is done. Back to book to unwind for the evening.
I stumbled upon something in this book, and it's happened twice now in this part. And it's something that I try not to be nitpicky about with books, but it really bothers me. So she walks into the cabin here on this ship, and Lucas is standing beside the bed. He's studying the pictures on the wall. They're talking a little bit, and then it says, he steps toward me, closing the distance between us until he is so close that I can smell the familiar scent of him. And then he reaches up with one hand and grabs a loose curl, tucking it back where it belongs. And then the next paragraph, before I can move, before I can even think, he releases me and rises from the bed, putting as much space as possible between us in the tiny cabin. Didn't he just cross the room from beside the bed to tuck a loose curl behind your ear? That bothers me. Because I'm picturing the scene in my head, and I'm picturing him over next to you, and then it's like, he rises from the bed. He wasn't sitting on the bed. I don't remember what page it was that I caught that before. What was it? I can't find it, but it was essentially the same thing where it was like he was across the room, but this one was with Finn. He was across the room, and then all of a sudden he was like right beside her, and I'm like, come on. That's just 2 in this book that I've noticed, I think. Yeah, it's just those 2. But just wanted to chime in because it bothers me. I am disappointed this morning for a couple reasons. One, because it is like the low 60s. I'm cold. I put on long sleeves and long pants, and I'm very upset about it. Second thing I'm upset about is that I missed my alarms this morning and overslept by like an hour, and now I have to work and do a bunch of stuff, and I have less than 50 pages left of The Fallen Witch, and I really wanted to get up early and finish it this morning, but curses, Beth, for not listening to your alarms, and I just turned them off and woke up at 8:30. I'm like, I need to get some work done. I need to get up and get ready and do some work. So I'm gonna do that here, and hopefully when I get my stuff caught up, I can take the afternoon and finish The Fallen Witch. I don't have that much more left. I think I have like 47 pages, something like that. I'm going out tonight with my friend. We're going to go to an open jam, so I can't finish it tonight. So I have to finish it during the day today. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm talking to you, sir. So I got to finish it today. I want to finish it today because I really want to start the War of Shadows before the weekend. So fingers crossed. Let me get my work caught up and we'll do some reading. Hopefully.
Good morning, chicken. Come on out.
All right, now I'll go in and get some work done. Had to eat the chickens.
6 hours later.
Same day, different outfit. I have not had time to read all day. I had to work, and I have about an hour until my friend shows up to take me out to that open jam tonight. So I got all ready, got all dolled up, and I'm gonna sit out here and read for a little bit until she comes to get me. Bagheera.
What's he doing?
Chasing a chicken.
Did you get him?
Chase it down the sidewalk now. It's mad. No, she's on her way. I have like 10 pages left. Drive slower, Shannon. Drive slower. Alright, I'm gonna stop here. I have one chapter left. I'm at 46. She's gonna be here any minute. I may as well just stop. Ugh, finish it later. Okay, so I got to sit down and finish The Fallen Witch this morning. I had like less than 10 pages left, and since it was sitting right beside me, I just picked up and started reading The War of Shadows. I'm about 20-ish pages in. I mean, it starts on page like 11, so I've really only read like 10 pages. But excuse me, he's chewing on my bookmark. My little sprout. My cat's chewing on it. It is Thursday evening. I just finished up my work for the day, so I'm just gonna chill and hang out and read for a little bit. I'm out of caffeine. There we go. Alright, now let's talk about The Fallen Witch. Okay, it's been like 2 hours. I had to do some work. I finished my coffee already. Some things came up, so let's talk about The Fallen Witch now. I finished The Fallen Witch on Thursday morning. I only had like 10 pages left after going out with my friend that Wednesday evening. So I finished it and I just immediately started The War of Shadows yesterday and I'm already about 80 pages in. So I got to talk about this today so I can read The War of Shadows and not have to worry about doing my little Fallen Witch update. I really enjoyed the story in The Fallen Witch and I think it really added a lot to the series. Amari is still pretty immature, but she does get better. She's learning to talk about her feelings, and she actually picked a brother, and it just so happened to be the one I was rooting for too, so that was nice. I really enjoy Emma's writing style. It's very easy to read. They're super quick reads. I've been blowing through this series really quick. I started The Sunken City on August 16th. I finished it on the 20th, and then it took me a couple days to read The Fallen Witch. I finished it on the 28th, and today's the 29th. So, pretty quickly getting through these books, which is good. I needed to get through them pretty quick. There were a decent bit of twists in The Fallen Witch. It was a little bit predictable, but even with the predictability, it was still a really enjoyable read for me. Little bit of a recap. After the wedding mishap and stuff in the first two parts, part 3 was the longest section of the book. They had to go into Skullhaven to try and retrieve an artifact, and Amari got the chance to work with some other witches to actually learn how to use her magic and to actually learn some spells. She still really struggles with letting herself go fully into her magic to get her full power. She doesn't want to give in to the darkness inside her and let it consume her. That's something that comes up a lot throughout the books, is that darkness within her that she's trying to avoid and not let take over. But she is coming more to terms with it as we progress through the series. There is quite a bit that happens after Skullhaven, and I'm gonna get a little bit spoilery here, but this whole time they have been trying to stop and prevent the resurrection of the Fallen Witch. She was imprisoned 1,000 years ago, and the kingdoms have just been kind of doing their own thing this whole time, just ignoring Tectisha. She has been imprisoned for 1,000 years, and there is a prophecy that has been going around the underwater kingdoms for these thousands of years, talking about a certain someone who has the power to collect these artifacts to raise Tectisha from her imprisonment. I almost said from the dead, but she's not dead. She's still alive, just in a stone coffin. So there are 3 artifacts that will aid in the resurrection of Tectisha. In the Sunken City, Amari gets one of them. Things happen, they lose the item. But then in the Fallen Witch, that's why they're going into Skullhaven, is to collect one of those artifacts. But they fail. They end up releasing Tectisha towards the end and chaos ensues. So sorry, a little spoiler there. She's out. The whole reason she has been trapped for 1,000 years is because Tectisha wants to kill all of humanity above the water, because as she learned more about humans, she's like, they steal, they rape, they murder, etc., etc. They don't need to be around. I'm gonna raise the ocean's tides and drown all of humanity. So they're trying to prevent that. Just trying to prevent a war and the extermination of the human race. Fun stuff, right? I ended up rating The Fallen Witch 4 out of 5 stars like I did The Sunken City. It would have been 5 stars, but there were just a couple little things that really did bother me about this book. There was a couple punctuation errors. Mostly I saw them just being extra quotation marks at the end of sentences that didn't need quotes. There was a handful of times that I noticed that, and at least twice I noticed continuity errors or chronological inconsistencies. I did catch the one and I recorded it in real time, but just to recap, Lucas was standing by the bed when Amari came into the cabin, and he walked across the room to her. They talked a little bit, he tucked hair behind her ear, and then the next paragraph, he stood up off the bed. And I'm like, didn't he just walk across the room from the bed to you? He couldn't have stood up off the bed if he wasn't sitting on the bed. And that's just something that needs to be caught in editing. And I get it, you're writing almost 400 pages of a book. It's difficult to catch all of the things. It happens, but there was twice that I saw that. I didn't write it down whenever I caught it the first time, so I don't remember where it was or what it was exactly, but it had to do with Finn. There was some kind of chronological error there with Finn, but I can't remember where it was or exactly what it was. I think that's about it, my thoughts on The Fallen Witch. I recommend the book if you are interested in the Sunken City trilogy. It is a good continuation of the story. But right now, I have a little bit of book mail that we're going to open real quick before we get started in The War of Shadows. Eee!
I love book mail.
I just had one arrive yesterday. I entered a giveaway for a damaged book on Threads, and I won, and it came yesterday. I'm so excited. I can't wait to read that later. Wow. That didn't rip open like I hoped it would. I think this is the one I ordered off TikTok the other day. It is. Ooh, I ordered this one because I'm going to Salem this fall and I'm very excited, but it's Salem's Fall. How perfect. Funny enough though, it's not actually based in Salem. It's based in Salem's Fall in New England, but it's got Salem in the name. It's spooky. I'm gonna read it anyways. But it's about a law student that has to defend a billionaire accused of murdering his fiancée. It's supposed to be a Silence of the Lambs meets Labyrinth kind of deal, and I'm very excited for it. Subscribe and I'll update you when I read it. Okay, I think that's it now for real. Let's read The War of Shadows now. So I caved and I bought some fall Halloween decor today, and I just had to put it out already. It is September 1st. I am almost done with War of Shadows. I am very close to part 4, but I just figured I'd do a little update now because I'm not going to be reading anymore tonight. I fell on our walk this evening. I slipped in the gravel and busted my knee pretty good. I have 115 pages left of the War of Shadows. Quick little update on it. The war hasn't started yet. I'm so close to being done with this and the war hasn't even started. So, little peculiar about that. I am enjoying the story so far, but it is just a lot of filler, it feels like. There is a lot of character development happening. While there's not a lot of plot happening right now, there is just a lot of character development. Amari is finally learning how to handle and control her emotions and to use her magic without being consumed by the darkness within her. Sit that back there. I thought there was going to be another love triangle, but it didn't happen, thank God. Love triangles aren't my favorite. This one, she still did go with the brother that I was leaning more towards. I really can't talk much about the plot of it or else it will spoil a lot of major things in the entire trilogy. But it is going really well. I am really liking it. I was hoping to have it done by now, but it just hasn't worked out for me to get time to read. And tonight, I fell on our walk while walking the dog. I slipped in the gravel and busted the hell out of my knee. So I don't feel like reading tonight. I just want to chill. I'm gonna watch some Gilmore Girls. And I saw a thing on TikTok where you like cut up and use your plastic and shove it inside of a bottle and make it's called an eco brick. So I'm always looking for ways to be more sustainable and to be more environmentally friendly. Yeah, I buy a lot of books, but we're not going to talk about that. So I have been hoarding my plastic for the past like week or two, and I finally have a decent bit that I'm going to just sit here, chill, watch some TV, and shove some plastic into a bottle. I am getting hungry, so I will have to make dinner soon, but my knee hurts really bad, so I just want to sit down for a little bit. I'm just like surrounded by garbage, so let's shove it inside of a bottle, shall we? This is what I will be shoving all of my plastic into, and then I have these bags full of stuff and a couple things that I will have to cut up, but I have a pair of scissors and a screwdriver to jam it down inside my bottle. So TV and garbage stuffing awaits. The war started. Page 327. The war started. Finally. I'm really not trying to shit on this series. I just think it's hilarious that this entire trilogy has been like built up to we're trying to stop this war where where she's gonna kill all of humanity. We have to stop her. We're going to war, okay? I'm on page. It's a trilogy. 327. The war begins. How many pages do I have left? I have 55 pages left and the war just began. The book is called War of Shadows. I do really like the series. I do. And I just find it funny. I just found it funny that I'm like 327, the last line of this chapter. And then the two sides collide and the war begins. I like Emma's writing. Otherwise, I do like the series. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm really not. I just can't stop chuckling at it. Okay, I'm gonna try and finish this book tonight. I got 55 pages. I can finish this book tonight. I just gotta hone in. I'm done recording. I'm gonna hone in. We did it! We finished the War of Shadows, finally. I finished this back in the third, and I have been procrastinating and doing my little wrap-up thing. Don't ask me why. I have no excuses. The cat's chasing chickens. And we are experimenting with letting Lou off of her leash. She got loose the other day and just ran down to my husband in his truck, and we're like, okay, I guess we can attempt to let you free. I don't know, we'll see. So far, she's doing okay, knock on wood. Because I don't trust this bitch. She likes to chase the chickens, so we gotta keep an eye on her with that. Anywho, the weather is beautiful today, and I actually got myself ready for the day. My husband and I have a date night tonight. So I wanted to sit out here in the sunshine to talk to you about my conclusion of this entire trilogy and this video in general. Overall, I really did enjoy the Sunken City trilogy, and I will 100% be rereading this entire series in the next couple years. I know I will. I'm going to be thinking about it like for years to come, and I know I will do a reread at some point. I loved the underwater setting, but it did always make me chuckle whenever she'd be like, I paddled over to someone. I could just picture them doggy paddling over to each other, and it just would make me chuckle every single time. The underwater cities were beautifully constructed, and I felt like I was there underwater with the characters. I just loved it. It was great. Most of the War of Shadows was character development. There wasn't a whole lot of plot driving the book. It was mainly just Amare finally figuring out what the fuck to do with her powers and how to control them and to use her full potential. Which honestly she didn't end up using in the end, but whatever. But good on you for getting your shit figured out. I did say earlier when I was actually reading, I cut in because I found it a little bit ridiculous that this entire trilogy has been a build-up and like them trying to prevent this all-out war that's going to be happening. And then the war doesn't even start until page 327. There was 55 pages left in the book. No, scratch that. 55 pages left in the entire trilogy. And this whole war that we have been trying to prevent didn't even start until 327. I found it a little comical. I get it. It does work for the story, but that's what I mean whenever I say that this third book in the series was just character development. There wasn't a lot of plot happening. I really did enjoy this series. It does have a happy ending, and it was overall a very enjoyable reading experience for me, and I really like that I decided to take this time to document me reading it and to make this video and kind of have this little project out of it. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Most of the things that I wanted to say, I've already gotten out of the way. Like I said, I want to try and avoid as many spoilers as I can, and I already know this video is going to be super long and the odds of you watching this far are very slim. I get it, I know. So I guess this is it. Goodbye. Fare thee well to my precious summer. I'm gonna miss you so fucking much. I really am. I already miss it. It's warm today and I'm just like, stay with me. Don't leave. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did happen to make it this far, you are the true MVP and I appreciate you more than you could ever possibly know. If you drop a like, it'll help a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Thanks for going on this reading journey with me and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.